Today I'm going to discuss 3 reasons why you might have to file bankruptcy if you have a COVID EIDL. Hi, I'm Trevor, your EIDL expert. If you would like to discuss with me the situation about your COVID EIDL, whether you're in trouble with repayment, considering bankruptcy or closing your business, or other matters related to your SBA transactions with the COVID EIDL, or about an SBA disaster loan, we have opened our calendar for the month of April. Click on the link in the description to book your paid 1-hour consultation call with me. And as always, if you could take a quick minute to like and subscribe to our channel and like the video, we'd appreciate that. Before I talk about the 3 reasons you might have to consider bankruptcy for your COVID EIDL, I want to discuss this comment that appeared in our feed. And while we do appreciate that folks are trying to be helpful to other people, I would just like to point out a couple of key elements about this comment and the reason why you see so many blacked out redactions here in the comment. First of all, this is not Reddit where folks get to offer advice on top of the advice that we offer. I'm a retired mortgage banking loan officer. Both Linda Ray and I have extensive experience in the financial services industry, she with insurance, me with mortgage financing, and for the last 5 years with the SBA's COVID EIDL program. And that experience informs all of the advice that we give here, where we have striven for the last 5 years to provide accurate and timely information that you can use. And while we do appreciate, again, somebody providing a comment like this, we'd rather discourage that type of commenting. We want to hear what your problems are. We want to hear what your questions are. And as you've seen recently in our videos, we are now responding to many of those comments here in our YouTube videos. But providing advice is difficult because this comment, which is redacted so much, while it kind of sort of proposes a strategy for a bankruptcy on a COVID loan, the stuff we blocked out is because it potentially encourages people to commit fraud. Fraud to the bankruptcy court and fraud to the Small Business Administration. And we're not about that. We respectfully messaged the commenter and told them we were going to delete it if they wanted to change it. And so it has been removed. But again, we would encourage you to tell us what is your business, what are your challenges, what are your questions about the COVID EIDL. But if you want to offer advice, find a different forum for that, because this is not the place for it. We want to offer accurate information. And again, we appreciate the input, but your experience is going to be very different from our professional experience working with thousands of transactions and decades of experience in this financial services field. 3 reasons you might have to consider filing bankruptcy for your COVID EIDL. The first reason why you might have to consider bankruptcy for your COVID EIDL is if you're closing your business down. We recently assisted a client who had hired us during the pandemic. We got him approved for an increase modification, and last year we assisted him in getting approved for the Hardship Accommodation program. But he disclosed to us at the time that he's considering winding down the business because of some medical issues that have arisen in his life. And last week I had a consulting call with a 75-year-old man who had a decent business, but it's time to ride off into the sunset and to spend his retirement years with his wife and his family. And so he paid for a 1-hour consulting call with me, and we discussed the different strategies with closing the business down, which might involve, in his case, selling the assets to pay the debt off or potentially filing a bankruptcy. So closing down a business for the reasons of illness, retirement, or maybe it's just time to move on to other ventures, might be a reason that causes you to discuss bankruptcy with a bankruptcy attorney. And it's important for us to tell you, we are not attorneys and this is not legal advice. So we encourage you to find a bankruptcy attorney in your community and ask them the question, have you managed a bankruptcy discharge where a COVID EIDL was involved? If the attorney says no, hang up the phone and call another attorney, because we've discovered not too many attorneys are aware that the COVID loan can be discharged in bankruptcy, or they have no experience in actually processing that. And from what we've seen in other YouTube channels here on YouTube with attorneys talking about the bankruptcy process for COVID loans, there are very unique requirements, notably around the use of the proceeds of the COVID loan for the bankruptcy court and how they want to discuss that in the bankruptcy proceedings. So again, we encourage you to locate an attorney in your community who is a bankruptcy attorney and who has experience with the COVID EIDL. We say you want to ask that question up front because we recently received a message from someone, I think she was in New York, and she told me that her $25,000 COVID loan is in default and she wants to file bankruptcy, and the attorney told her it's not worth her time and that she can't discharge it in bankruptcy, and that discharging it in bankruptcy would open a whole can of worms with the SBA. Yeah, that's not good advice. In fact, that's really bad advice. I hope she didn't pay for that. There are attorneys out there who will discuss bankruptcy for your COVID EIDL. It's a matter of you doing the work and the research to find that attorney. We are seeing a lot of comments in recent weeks from folks who very sadly are disclosing that they have some serious illnesses. And those illnesses are causing their business to fail or their inability to work in the business, and thus their inability to make the payments on the COVID loan. I'm not sure if it is the number one reason, but I feel like one of the very top reasons for bankruptcy in the United States is illness and or medical bills. If you are in a situation where you have been diagnosed with a serious illness, and I want to say on behalf of Linda Ray, both of us, we send our heartfelt regards to you and hope that things can improve for you. But if you find yourself in that position, I don't think there should be any hesitation about the idea of picking up the phone and hiring an attorney and filing a bankruptcy and at least taking that COVID loan and maybe other debt that you have off of the plate and off of your shoulders. You have enough to worry about. And that is the reason why bankruptcy was created, to give you a clean slate, to give you the opportunity to think more clearly. I read an article in The Atlantic this morning where the writer discussed how financial anxiety can really impact us both emotionally and actually lower temporarily our IQ. So we make bad decisions because we're stressed out by money, by finance. You should not feel that way if you're going through a serious illness. Or the second reason to discuss bankruptcy for your COVID EIDL is if you just can't find a way to rebuild your business and find the money you need to maintain your lifestyle and pay your bills. That would be the second reason why you want to consider filing bankruptcy if you have a COVID EIDL. I had a 1-hour consultation this morning with a client in California who had purchased our EIDL Resource Hub last year. They told us afterward that our guidebook had assisted them to return their loan from collections with the U.S. Treasury and get it back into the SBA's hands, into the Hardship Accommodation program, and how we had saved the lives of employees and of their business. But as it stands now, their business is kind of on tenterhooks, and they're discovering that revenue is just not recovering for a variety of reasons. Not necessarily about recovery from the pandemic, but really other market conditions that are impacting their ability to generate the kind of revenue that this business, which is decades old, is used to earning. And so in a situation like that, where you are just not making the money that your business is capable of making or has made in the past, and you're struggling with your bills, especially with your SBA COVID EIDL, then it is time to stop worrying, to remove that financial anxiety off of your shoulders and call an attorney and have that conversation about filing a bankruptcy for your COVID EIDL. The third reason why you may be forced to consider filing bankruptcy for your COVID EIDL is literally being thrust on your head by the Small Business Administration. That's right, the very agency that assisted you to recover from the pandemic to keep your business open now in early 2025 is taking all kinds of steps to make it nearly impossible for you to manage this debt. They are literally forcing you into default. We've done a couple of videos recently. Here's one called It's Worse Than We Thought that tells you more details on what the heck is going on at the SBA and things you should be worried about. But recently, on March 19th, the SBA canceled the Hardship Accommodation program. So if you are having cash flow challenges, you can't even call the SBA or email them and ask them, hey, listen, I need some temporary relief on the payments. I need to lower my payments temporarily so I can manage to keep my business going and pay this debt over the next 25, 26 years remaining on the term. No. The SBA has arbitrarily, capriciously, and without any input from you, their constituents, removed that option from you. Also, for the COVID EIDL program, as of today, you cannot negotiate an offer in compromise with the SBA for a COVID EIDL. If you have tax debt and you contact the IRS, you can negotiate with the IRS to settle that debt for less than you owe. A percentage of what you owe, or going on a payment plan, or both. The SBA does not permit you to negotiate an offer in compromise. Again, no hardship accommodation program to lower your payments, to give you some temporary relief on cash flow. No ability to negotiate a settlement with the SBA so that you can just settle the debt and move on with your life and keep your business open. And frankly, as of today, there are literally no remediation options, no repayment negotiations with the SBA for the COVID EIDL program at all. Nothing. They are hamstringing you, they are blocking you, they are throwing a pile of rocks on your head and saying, figure it out. And so that is the third reason why you may have to hire an attorney, and you may have to take that approach of filing a bankruptcy to discharge the COVID EIDL simply because the SBA will not work with you on a payment plan, on a lower payment, or any other type of settlement or remediation option. If you found this video useful, please consider sharing it with your accountant, with your attorney, with another small business owner who has a COVID EIDL. If you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. Do you know more than 70% of our viewers who watch our videos are not subscribed? And when you subscribe to our channel, what you're doing is you're telling YouTube, you're telling the algorithm, Uncle Al, as we like to call him around here, hey, Uncle Al, this video has value. Please share this video with other people. That's what YouTube will do. In fact, we have seen that in recent months. So please subscribe to the channel. And of course, please like the video. If you would like to book a 1-hour consultation with me, the calendar is open for the month of April. We stopped doing consulting generally back in September, but for the month of April 2025, because of all of the craziness going on at the SBA, because of all of the challenges that business owners are facing, whether it is just operating their normal operations that they have to get permission from the SBA to manage, or they've got problems with making payments, or considering bankruptcy, closing the business, I'm here to offer expert strategic advice for you on all aspects of the COVID EIDL program or the SBA disaster loan program. Click on the link in the description so you can book your paid 1-hour call now. And last but not least, if you are the DIY type of person, like our client in California who got their loan recalled from Treasury last year using the information in our guidebook, you can click on the link and purchase our EIDL Resource Hub. Currently, the EIDL Resource Hub is a guidebook at a certain price point. From something as simple as how to communicate with the SBA, to closing a business, to getting a subordination done when you apply for financing from another bank and you have a COVID EIDL, change of ownership, any number of things. All of these are in the EIDL Resource Hub. So please, click on the link now and purchase your copy before we publish the updates, because when we publish the updates, the price of the EIDL Resource Hub will increase dramatically. As always, we thank you for viewing our videos. Please like and subscribe. Please consider sharing, and I'll see you on the next time around.